Hello and welcome to another JR and Lizzie Go to the Movies. This week we went to go and see Tarzan, well, The Legend of Tarzan, which has got a lot of really poor reviews and wasn't meant to be a great film. And I'm like, you know what? It was a Tarzan movie. It did what it said on the tin, and I was pleasantly surprised by how entertained it is. I have to admit, the main reason I went to go and see this film is because I like Alexander Skarsgård. And you know, 6'5" Scandinavian hunk that likes to run around without his clothes on. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good movie. I'll cope with that, fine. And yeah, that's pretty much what I was watching for 2 hours, and it was a very enjoyable movie. But all in all, actually, it was good. It had nice scoring. It had nice set pieces.
Yeah.
It had good action. It dealt with the Tarzan story about having to go right back to the beginning and do the whole he was raised in the jungle. So it kind of was like a sequel and a prequel and all in the same movie.
They kept the backstory very small. Which
Yeah.
is good. I like that.
Because most people know who Tarzan is. Didn't really want to go through was Tarzan raised by apes in the jungle where he was left? It was and it was quite nice seeing him start off after he left the jungle in London and trying to adapt to normal civilization and being pulled back in.
Hands as well, which was really cool. They kind of extended out his hands, so it looks like he'd been grabbing hold of vines and walking on all fours.
Yeah, he looked like a man that had clearly spent his life crawling around on all fours and climbing trees and running around the jungle. And it was nice when they took him back, how he slowly progressed back into the man he was before, but still but not totally going ape on us, really. And it was good fun. It had great swinging through the vines. The fight scenes were good. The CGI wasn't as good as Jungle Book CGI, but I wasn't expecting it to be as good.
It was still pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, and it manages to have a really good sense of humour. Samuel L. Jackson was great in it. He was definitely like comedy gold, and to break up all the tragic and action scenes, emotional scenes, you'd have him come. And as his own character, he stood up well. And, and everybody, had a turn at, doing something cool and heroic. It was all around just a lot of fun.
Even Jane.
Yeah. Jane wasn't oh, no, I've been kidnapped. She was a bit why are you kidnapping me? Punch, spit, kick, And then when she was kidnapped, she's I am thinking all the time, how will I get out of this? What is my knowledge from being out in Africa before? How are the people I know?
She lived there as well. It's clearly a film that understood its source material and kind of appreciated what Tarzan is and how to kind of bring that forward to a new age. I really appreciated all the effort that they put into the animals, Tarzan, the Legends of Tarzan, and the kind of things that you could do with a Tarzan film.
Yeah, they had a lot of good stuff, the fact that obviously he left to go back to England in the books, and this is a sequel, and he comes back to the jungle and he has to go through the part of the jungle where his ape family were, and obviously having left he's seen a deserter to the pack, so he has to go and he has to fight his brother for recognition and and him and his brother have this really amazing relationship, and you get the sense that they're brothers and they care from little taps in the way, and it's just which is amazing since it's pretty much a man and a monkey, and you kind of get all that
no words,
and there's no words. They really dealt with the fact that he can communicate with the animals really well. There wasn't lots of weird animal talk. It was just he just knew what they were saying, and they knew him from looks, from feelings, from
he picked on how what kind of noises they make, their behaviour, rather than just kind of saying, "You cheetah, go over there." Yes.
Yeah, it was all kind of implied, how he communicated with these creatures, and it was really lovingly done. I love the relationship with his ape mother. That was really beautiful, and it was it felt realistic in as much as a realism you get from a man in a jungle movie. I know, I liked it. I mean, I thought the villain was good. He was very much
he was certainly menacing in a sort of quite quiet British kind of way.
Yeah, he kind of presented himself as a bit of oh, I'm very I'm posh European and I like to be civilized and but at the same time this guy's never going to hold out if anything really bad goes. But he had this kind of streak in him that was mean, and you could tell he could hold his own. He knew how to use a weapon. He wasn't afraid of anything. He was just he preferred to sit back, manipulate, and
But he's pretty good in the scrap himself.
Yeah, exactly. He knew how to use the people he paid around him to make sure that he didn't like get directly like harmed anyway.
Like Vandal Savage.
Yeah, see, as DC fans, or DC TV Universe fans, and big fans of Legend of Tomorrow, it was a really bit weird when like one of the bit characters, one of his henchmen, was played like by the actor who plays Vandal Savage from Legends of Tomorrow, and we're like, oh my god, Savage is here! Oh my goodness! So a lot of the movie was a little bit like, oh my goodness, Savage is here! What is he plotting? When are the Legends going to turn up and fight him in the jungle? And I was like, oh no!
Why does he want Tarzan?
He's like, oh, how is he going to turn him into the killer of the future and destroy everything? And it's like, so yeah, there was some fandom crossover going on for us while watching this. I got to say kudos to Alexander Skarsgård. Obviously, like, he looked the part, but the fact is that dude had to interact with so much CGI and make it realistic and believable, and he did. You really believed he was there, like, having harsh battles against apes and jumping out of trees and like, you know. He was very good as Tarzan. It's like, it's all you wanted. I mean, the people that are like, yeah, it's just like paint by numbers film and full of all the cliches. There's not much new you can do with Tarzan. You don't really want to go down like.
I actually don't think it's that cliche. I mean, they kind of created a new story for him, and they kind of went to they hinted at like kind of his past, but not really showed it too much, and it was a kind of different direction.
Yeah, it was good. And it's like, yeah, so Tarzan goes to the jungle, is raised by apes, swings on vines, does his Tarzan call. Like, they're not going to change that. They're not going to suddenly have him Batmaning it up, like, oh my goodness, angst. Like, you don't want to see Tarzan brooding in a tree because his parents are dead, you know, not screaming in the jungle, Martha, or anything, you know.
And all the other apes going, as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not what Tarzan does. So it's like, you can't, like, you don't want to make him too dark. And they already did, like, making the Tarzan story a bright, funny thing when they did George of the Jungle back in the day. So, like, this was a more realistic portrayal of
George
Tarzan.
of the Jungle was a cartoon beforehand.
Yeah, but it's still taking the Tarzan story and reappropriating it. But yeah, it was like, I don't know, it was good fun. And, you know, CGI was good, the scoring was good, the battle, the idea that there was more going on in this world, like there was factions, there was different tribes, there was slavery plot, there was the diamonds plot, and yet it never felt like they put too much in. It felt like it revealed all these aspects and they all worked together for the film.
Good history.
Yeah. You know, you learn a little bit about the part of history that this is set in the Congo, and that was quite good, using actual like history to back it up. The only downside to the movie is definitely the finale.
Yes.
It had been really good, like him and his brother, the fight there, the fight with him and the other tribe, like the manipulations of the bad guy, like it's all been building. So the last final thing, you're like, okay, they've set all these things up, they've freed the slaves.
There's an army of 2,000 troops coming along.
Yeah, like they were about to send
them. They just needed to be paid.
Yeah, but they couldn't get paid until they got the diamonds, which is what they were trying. But like, you know, so you knew that by the end of the film, like the different factions and the animals were all going to come together to work with Tarzan to kick out the evil.
Two giant armies, one wave of animals in the wild in the Congo versus like.
You know, I was expecting kind of a far less serious Zulu. Like I wanted to see the animals and the tribespeople going into this battleground, and they had to go through the troops that were from like the European military and the British military, and they were going to be there with guns and stuff, and there was going to be a showdown. And didn't really, like, the military didn't stand a chance. It was literally like, and here come the buffalo, and your army has been destroyed at the end.
Well, they've kind of levelled all of the houses, which is fine. And if that was how it just started, and then kind of continued on from there, that would have been really good. And then just kind of, the army just kind of go, oh, well, our diamonds are over there, we should really kind of shoot these animals and kind of, and then like the monkeys come in, and then
that could have been a bit more epic. I mean, you still got Tarzan swinging around being cool, you know, Tarzan versus a minigun, like clearly going, I don't care about miniguns, I'm Tarzan.
I'm fucking Tarzan.
It's like, yeah, he was just doing well, and like, you know, and the bad guy got his comeuppance. I just feel like the ending could have been
a little bit more solid,
a bit more epic, a little less anticlimactic. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I just felt that its ending was its weakest aspect.
Yeah, he kind of.
There was no way he wasn't going to win. There was like the bad guys had nothing on him.
The bad guys had all this big chest filled with diamonds. All the army needed to do was come along and just pick it up.
Yeah.
And they could see it. They were just kind of swimming out through it. They go, ooh, Tarzan's over there.
And some alligators now.
You know, our contract's not complete until those are given to us. We can't just go over there and get them.
Yeah.
They need to be given to us.
And it's like, just go and pick up your diamonds.
Just pick up your diamonds.
And then it's like, and then they're like, oh no, too many buffalo. Can't possibly go to that town. Too many buffaloes. Like, you know. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Let's get a buffalo. Pretty sure that the buffaloes are the least terrifying thing. I mean, okay, enough of them have leveled the town, but you're not on the town. You're waiting on your military boats to dock. By this point, the buffaloes were like, I've arrived. Let's swim away because we've just leveled the town. We've ended up in the water, and now we're swimming off.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm like I'm like a character in Fallout 4 where I'm off to get off into the river or something.
Yeah, just off they go.
Doopy-doop.
So apart from the weakness of the ending,
Yes.
it was an all-round entertaining film. Like, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
And Alexander Skarsgård was beautiful. He had the wonderful body, and it was lovely to look at.
It was a lovely body, I'm sure. No.
Yeah. Oh, it was a great movie to take a date to. It's like, oh, look, let's watch Tarzan. That sounds great. So, why did you want to see this film? Tarzan's body? But you know what? Turns out it was also good.
I got action, she got the body.
Yeah. So I would say for me, because it was so much fun and I wasn't expecting it, and Alexander Skarsgård, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, mostly because of the weak ending towards the end. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I suppose it didn't work outside its normal kind of... It was just a normal kind of action story, but I think 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it was just a good fun film. It's not anything too life-changing or game-changing, just good fun.
6 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Yeah, worth seeing. As always, I'm LZSY for you, and you can find me on my blog, on my Tumblr, and my Twitter at LendryMeowie. Take care till next time.
See you, I'm Luke at JRetroAnime, and I'll see you on my channel or more of these videos.